Yeah, well, the boy's gonna do what the boy's gonna do. Now, of course, I never advocate for vandalism, but this one's a really interesting story. And I can't say I blame these high school kids for what they did. From the New York Post, new state mandated tampon dispenser in Connecticut high school boy's bathroom ripped down in just 20 minutes. You know, these young boys in high school, they're actually more manly than the principal himself. I do say, however, I'm not a fan of vandalism. I'm not. I think the problem is cultural, but I understand the protest. I get it. And I'm not here to condemn nor condone. I'm typically not a fan of vandalism, right? The left does it all the time. I don't think it's effective. But, the story is interesting. Here you go. From the New York Post. A state-mandated tampon dispenser inside a boys' bathroom at a Connecticut high school was ripped down 20 minutes after it was installed this month, according to the building's disgusted principal. The dispenser was placed in the Brookfield High School boys' bathroom at 9:30 a.m. last Wednesday, but by 9:52 a.m. it was torn from the wall, leaving tampons littering the floor. The school's principal, Mark Belanda, said in an email to students and staff obtained by CT Insider reported, I can only imagine what high school boys would be doing with a bunch of tampons. I knew, guys, there was one prank they did where they dipped the tampon in red Kool-Aid, which, like any adult knows, is not, doesn't look like a used tampon. But they would, it's got the string on it, and they would throw it. It would splatter. Dude. Yeah, high school age dudes are going to be screwing around. And I don't even know if this is political, right? The assumption here is that you got these teenagers, and they're like, why are they putting tampons in the men's room, and ripped it down? The fixture was put in the bathroom as part of a new state law that mandates each school must provide free menstrual products in women's restrooms, all gender restrooms, and at least a single men's bathroom. I am aware that the law says men's bathroom, but the actions today that led to vandalism and destruction of property were the work of immature boys, not men. More manly than you, dude, Belanda stated per local outlet Inside Investigator, which obtained the email. He added that there have been other instances of vandalism in recent weeks in boys' bathrooms, including tearing down soap dispensers and stuffing objects down toilets. But he found this the most egregious. And there it is. The assumption, of course, is that some high school boys were offended at the gender ideology stuff and tore this down, when in reality, they're just smashing things. And the principal is offended mostly by the tampons. Yo, get out of here. I do want to point this out, too, especially with the law on all gender restrooms. Where do no gender restrooms? What if you have no gender? And I actually brought this up when I was in New York once, because there was this, I think it was in New York. Yeah. It was in Central Park, I think. There's two bathrooms, and they both say all gender bathroom. And then I'm just like, excuse me, where's the no gender bathroom? And they're just like, they have no idea what's going on. I mean, that's the reality of the world we live in. Most people don't know, don't care, don't even understand what all gender is. I would just like to point this out too. Yo, homies, I go to a restaurant, this was a fast food restaurant in Central Park. And you go in to get a cheeseburger, and then you sit down and they hand you a tray. It's not the fanciest of places. The bathrooms were single person bathrooms. You don't even need to put all gender on it. You can literally just put bathroom. But the point is, they put all gender on it because it's political. They want to put their message everywhere. Fascinating. All gender, as it were. Well, I think as New York recognizes agender, which is lack thereof, putting all gender does not provide an inclusive space for people who don't have a gender. That's how it works, right? Yeah, let's see if they're going to have to do one. Here's what's funny. They're going to say, okay, fine. This bathroom here is the all gender. This is the no gender. And then I'd be like, I would just use the no gender one because it's neutral. They said the state mandate was put in place so transgender and intersex students would have menstrual products available if needed. Having open dialogue in the school community can help everyone understand state law, blah, blah, blah. Brookfield School Superintendent John Barriel didn't share many details about the incident with Connecticut Insider, but noted the vandalism has been addressed with the student involved. That's right. Here you go. It was torn down in 20 minutes. Absolutely fascinating. What's funny is because There was another story just like this, and I was like, I'm getting deja vu. But no, this is a story from yesterday. Police were not called over the incident because law enforcement is typically not involved in situations of vandalism, destruction of property, unless the act rises to a much higher level of property destruction. Calls by the post to the superintendent and principal were not immediately returned. Use your words, start a dialogue rather than using your hands to destroy something, Belanda said in the email, also noting he was disgusted and disheartened. Ridgefield resident Alex Harris, who was on the Ridgefield CT Pride's advisory board, told the outlet this sad incident is a perfect teaching opportunity. Dude, young teenage dudes were smashing soap dispensers, and this happened to be there. They broke it. They're going to try and turn this into, oh, it's a hate crime. Schools are charged with imparting knowledge and understanding of reality to our youth. Menstruation and trans or non-binary people are simple facts of reality that threaten no one. And apparently, what's your problem with the soap? Is there an issue with the soap dispensers? No statement there, huh? Well, we have, my friends, revelation. You see, there's this video going around, it's going viral, of a little boy being told he was born in the wrong body. And so they're giving this little boy drugs. And immediately, I was just like, So I tweeted, the idea that you were born in the wrong body implies the existence of a soul. That's a religious connotation. You see, we are here where gender ideology is religious. How could you be born in the wrong body? You are your body. You cannot be born in the wrong body. They could be making the argument, they'll try, that your brain is not part of your body, or that when they say body, they mean everything but your central nervous system. That would imply that your spinal column is not part of your body. No, sorry. If you were born in the wrong body, that is to imply that there is an entity and there is a body, and they are two distinct things. The implication, souls exist. You have now crossed into religious territory, and I demand the exclusion from schools of your religious practice. That is, if you are trans and you want to go to the men's room, sorry. I can't come out and be like, my religion says I have to be surrounded by women at all times, so I'm going in their bathrooms. It doesn't work that way. Cue the leftist whinging. But hey, these are your ideas. Born in the wrong body? To imply that there is some energy within you that is not part of what your body is. You are your body. I think there is a soul. I do. And I got no problem saying that. I also believe in God, whatever you want to call it. And I don't believe it is just, a lot of these atheist leftists try to claim it's magic. No, I think it's science. I think there's no distinction between the science we observe in the physical reality and the concept of soul or God. They function within the same confines. The ideas do. What I mean by that is I believe God, of course, is beyond this standard realm, but the idea of a soul exists partially within this realm. It is effectively who we are. And there's a reason why we can look at our hands, we can perceive the world, but it seems to be mostly that we are piloting a construct, a body. In that case, I agree you were born in the wrong body. Surgically modifying that body doesn't do anything to alleviate the problem, it would seem. And depression and suicide rates remain high among those who undergo these rudimentary attempts at altering one's body. Extreme body modification, I'm sorry, can't help you. Maybe you can plug your brain into the Neuralink and then inhabit the right body. Could you imagine if we were in a simulation and what's actually happened is that whatever we actually are, it's okay, I'm going to play Earth. And then it's let's see, choose a character. I choose male and I choose this. And then they start the game and they're a female and they're like, whoa, this is not the body I chose for my character. What's happening? I feel bad for these kids that are being sterilized. And there's an interesting post by Jordan Peterson where he basically said the wrong person is being treated. It should be the mothers who are suffering from some kind of psychological issue where they are destroying the lives of their children for insane reasons. It's crazy. Any sane, rational adult knows kids don't know better. It's not true that children are stupid. They just don't know as much. They lack wisdom. There's different assessments towards risk and reward when you're younger. And these young kids don't know. They don't know what they feel. There's this an interesting idea we all probably heard when we were children. But it's an idea that colors may not actually be the same to everybody. That it may be that when I see the color red, You see the color green, but because our whole lives, when we saw something, everyone around us had red, we identify it as the same thing. That is to say, in my mind, my red is green to you and your blue is purple to me or whatever. The reason I bring that up, a child who says, I am experiencing something and is then told to be sterilized and get surgery, what they're feeling may not be the same thing you think it is. We don't know. The idea that a child would know what's best for them when it comes to life-altering surgeries, I'm sorry, mostly wrong. Obviously, if a kid has gangrene in his hand and he's like, I need this hand gone. Well, okay, fine, we get that. But when a child wants to get a tattoo or get their tongue forked or something, or if they're anorexic, parents have to help. There's a viral video now, I believe it's from MSNBC, where a woman says we need to get rid of the idea that parents own children. And the reality is it's our children. How creepy. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on the channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.